Hey, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, a.k.a. Uncle Tex, a.k.a. Professor Tex. You can tell by the title what I'm going with. That was surprising on both ends for me. Devante Adams, Tyreek Hill, and whatnot, of them being traded and getting lucrative contracts. Adams going back with his college quarterback Carr over there in Vegas with the Raiders, as well as Tyreek Hill, which was major. The cheetah, major going to the Dolphins and whatnot. One of the things that I think I really liked about it in the classiness of it, because normally it's not. Guys get on Twitter, they get on Facebook Live and all this, social media stuff, which I really don't care for insofar as when it comes to putting your business out in the streets. As a professional athlete, your business is pretty much already out in the streets, but it doesn't have to get, let's say, messy, per se. With Devante Adams, and I already talked about this when I talked about Aaron Rodgers' contract and what he did and what he saw happen. Like I said, all that stuff started with, as far as I'm concerned, it all started with that of Kirk Cousins and whatnot, and his contract of a subpar quarterback getting $40 million a year. And a guy like, Rodgers on his, what considered a bad Aaron Rodgers year is considered a great year for some mediocre quarterback, and he gets paid and whatnot. So that has driven the price of the throwing money, these owners throwing money. And I've already done shows on that. Y'all kind of know where I stand with that. But what I think I dug about it more is that the only thing Devante Adams basically said is that he was not. And he stuck to his guns. Because this is the thing. When you have a talent, when you're one of the top 5 receivers in the game, one of the top receivers in the game, period, or even at your position, somebody is going to pay you. Because in the end, in this game, in this game of football, but not only is it in the game of football, it's the game of life, man. These guys, when they're done at 34, 35, 36 years old, if not sooner than that, remember the average lifespan of a football player is no more than 3 years, right? And I think 2 or 3, I think they give you like 3 years with the insurance, they take care of you, and after that it's done. They don't deal with you no more. That's why, like I made the thing about, Dickerson, Eric Dickerson, Lawrence Taylor, a few other different guys. Just like, man, screw the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And how the NFL rolls and how they treat their players. After they make billions of dollars off of them, and them guys are just asking, hey, man, could you take care of some of these damn medical bills? That's pretty much what it comes down to. It's not about the money that they make. I mean, hell, you talk about different scans that they got to take and stuff like that. I mean, that stuff adds up to a lot of money. But the thing of it is, what I liked about Adams, like you say, he was not going to take being franchised. Getting that one, playing off that 1 year deal. We saw what happened with Earl Thomas a few years ago. But it also worked out for a joker like Kirk Cousins, right? So he's pretty much the poster child for getting that money and doing mediocre work as a quarterback. And none of this played out in the social media. Wasn't anything nasty, wasn't anything messy, back and forth and all this other kind of stuff, saying bad things, erasing the team from the pages and all that other kind of BS. It wasn't any of that. My man did what he did. He did what he did. And you're talking about Adams' new deal with the Raiders is worth $141.25 million over 5 years. That's a lot of cheddar. You know what I'm saying? And he quietly did his thing. Next thing you know, he's over in Vegas dressed in his black suit, signing with them. No bad ill will against the Raiders against the Packers or anything like that. He did what he did, and he kept it moving, and it's done. He's a Raider now. Tyreek Hill thing is the same thing. You would think it was going to be a lot of. I didn't even know he had a contract thing coming up. I know he was on the last on his last year of his contract after the 2021 season. I didn't even know that. And then he ended up getting a 4-year, $120 million deal, $72.2 million. And what ended up happening is that Adams opened that up because you figure, okay, well, Rodgers is going to be my man, but my man, he got to look out for himself. You can be teammates all you want. Something Rob Parker said about, about something with Pat Mahomes, and Pat Mahomes basically, although he got the big deal, he could have got more money, but he called himself taking somewhat of a discount when he kind of could have took him ass to the bank and not worrying about other teammates, because at the end of the day, it's still a workforce thing, right? When you work, wherever you're working at, be it the damn supermarket, be it the fast food restaurant, be it wherever you work at, somewhere along the line, man, you got to do what's best for you. And if they're not paying you in your services and somebody is willing to pay you the money, you're going to go where that's at. You have to. Sometimes it doesn't work that way out as far as the success of the team. But in the end, you have to do what's best for you and your family. You know what I'm saying? And both those guys did it, and they did it in a classy way. No dissing, no this, no that. And it was extremely classy. I really enjoyed the way they kind of did it. Those are two of the top receivers in the game. Both of them are all pros a couple of times. The best in their position. And it was funny is that these are two wide receivers, right, that come from playing with some of the best. Adams playing with one of the best top 5 quarterbacks in the game that ever played. Right, and you got Mahomes, who is on his way to a Hall of Fame career. He's already done things that a lot of guys haven't done in his 4 or 5. He's getting ready to his 4th or 5th year, just starting. Right, after being in the league for like 6 years, so it's like 5 or 6 years, and he's done everything. Started from 2018, so it's a good look. I guess that's the best word I could use for it. It's a good look. And it wasn't this animosity. He had talked to Mahomes, and the Chiefs knew it was Rosenhaus was saying some stuff was going on, but it wasn't a done deal. But when Adams did what he did, they knew that we're not going to be able to match that, man. We're not going to be able to match it, and we're just not going to do that. And he said, "Oh, fine, cool. I got to go where the bread at." Now I'd have felt bad for him. He's going to the Dolphins. I think the guy Mike Daniels is over there, whatever, offensive type guy, and. Supposed to be some good things going on over there. People talk a lot of mess about Tua. This, that, and the third. But Tua, and it's been said that Tua probably throws about the best slant ball in the league. Now, you talk about a guy running the slant. You talking about Tyreek coming up there doing the damn slant move, just going 5 and then going in. He can turn something into 3 or 4 yard gain. He can turn that into 15, 20 yard. He's a home run hitter. They don't call him the cheater for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So he did what he had to do for him and his family, because them guys know after that rookie contract and then the contract that you actually get, that big major contract, they know that that's pretty much it, because after around 30, 31 years old, they're not trying to pay you no bread. So, and they overstand that. And it's like somewhere along the line that they will have to eventually get that big money for them to be like, okay, fine. So even if I'll fall off the next 3 or 4 years after that contract was done, I still can get more decent money, because I'm set up by that second contract that they got. You know what I'm saying? And that makes them, that sets them and their family up for the future and beyond when football is all over said and done with, when the NFL is done with you and throw you to the scrap heap. Because they're going to throw you to the scrap heap because you're a piece of meat. But that's the life that they chose. And that's what they do. But I just thought it was classy on both those young men's part. And kudos to both of them cats for that. It's a couple of other guys. Like I said, I thought Von Miller handled everything eloquently and great with that of how the Broncos even did him and what he did. And I guess the Rams was like, well, we're not going to pay you this. Okay, that's fine. No big deal. I'm a hot hit man. I came in and did what I needed to do, and now I'm out of that. But I got to go get this bread over here, and he got it, and the Bills gave him that money and whatnot, and that's a good thing and whatnot. And I thought it was just classy on both those guys' part, Hill and Adams. They did it a certain way. Wasn't a bunch of fanfare with it. Those guys did what they had to do to make things happen for them and their family, and hopefully have success on the teams. And I'm like, it's a perfect fit for a guy like Adams, because he played with Carr in college, and they're probably working out right now as I speak. And so these guys doing what they did. It works out for both of them. And somebody like, Cheetah coming over there with Waddle and whatnot. They got some young talent over there. And I think so. And I look to see some great football still being played by those guys. I still think the Chiefs is going to still be a force to be reckoned with because they have Mahomes. And it's going to be something to see, this season coming up, especially there in the AFC West. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good thing. It's a really good thing, with the whole Khalil Mack, Von Miller, and all them guys, the whole AFC thing and whatnot. So, hey, man, got some studs going on over there, going on over yonder and whatnot, and it's good to see. So I kudos to both of those young men and what they did, how they handled their business, and it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't a bunch of back and forth, even like the stuff that you see with Gregory leaving Dallas, going over there talking mess about Jones. Hey, man, you got your money, going over there, do what you need to go do. Because if you would have done what you were supposed to have done, the one thing I know about Jerry Jones, if nothing else, what he's done, if you are one of the top players in the league, you're gonna get your bread. And if you do what you're supposed to do, you're gonna get your bread. So that's a good thing for them guys. And again, it was great to see. And just I really would like to see more young players do that. Quiet dignity and grace. You know what I'm saying? Quiet dignity and grace. And kudos to both of those young men. And even guys, Von Miller and whatnot and stuff like that. But definitely to Adams and Hill for handling their business the way you're supposed to handle your business. All right? I'll be back in a second. Got some other things I want to talk about with Deshaun Watson. We'll come back with you later. You guys take it easy.